Hello and welcome to another video. Today I want to talk about the Zhiyun Molus X100 cob light, and this is a quite interesting light, not only because of its form factor and its small size, but because of its power output. This tiny little light kicks out 100 watts. Now, disclaimer just before we get started, Zhiyun did send me this out for free, but no money's exchanged hands. I've not had any input into the content and all that sort of stuff. All opinions are my own. Alright, let's get into it. Now, they sent me the combo kit which comes with this adapter for Bowen's mount, and you're going to need this if you have any standard modifiers that you want to use, because the mount on the X100 is a proprietary mount, so this adapter is necessary to be able to go from this to a regular Bowen's mount. Now, although this adapter feels a little bit plasticky, and the main sort of concern for me was this bit here, the adjuster for the angle, it just feels a little bit weak. But I have been using this with my 60x90 softbox with like double diffusion plus a grid on the front of that, and it's held the weight fine. So it just, it's kind of deceiving the way it feels. It actually works pretty good. Alright, so let's have a look at what you get in the box. Now, it comes in this nice padded case, which is pretty sweet. Inside there you get your mains adapter. In my case it's the 3-pin 240 plug. You get the light itself. This is the X100, and see what I mean about the form factor of this thing. It's quite interesting. Then you've got this reflector, which again is that proprietary mount, and the grip battery that goes on the side of the light. Then you also get this little strap, instructions up in here, and this little carrying pouch and whatnot. So looking more closely at the light, we can see that most of its size is taken up by this fan. This light is very small. In fact, it kind of reminds me of something that you would put inside of a PC. The form factor is really interesting. Now, the light itself has very simple controls. You have this big red power button over here, this small display telling you what's going on with the light. You have these two dials around the side, one for power output and one for colour temperature, and that is pretty much it. So the battery grip part of this is a 22.2 volt 2600 milliamp hour battery, and it can not only be used to power the light itself, but using the same USB-C you can actually use it as a power bank to power other devices if you choose. Now, unlike the Inky and the small rig lights that I talked about recently, this thing doesn't have any of the special effect modes in it, but honestly it's not something I ever really use anyway. I have small LED panels that do all that kind of stuff, so that's not a feature that I really look for in a light like this. It has a colour temperature range of 2700 to 6500, and simply by pressing the dial it has a bunch of presets in there to quickly skip you to whatever colour temperature you want. Now, there's something that this light does at lower power settings that I haven't seen on any of my other lights, and it's kind of weird. So I'm going to turn off this silly blue light behind me, and I'm going to set this one up, and I'm going to let you see exactly what I've been seeing. Right, so this is just the box for the X100. I've got the light set up here just over to the left. The camera is set to 5600 Kelvin, the same as the light, so everything is color balanced and there are no other lights on in the room. Okay, so we're starting at 1%. Now just watch the color on the box as I increase the power. So at 1%, 2%, 3%. Now, to my eye already, this is starting to color shift, and I'm not actually changing anything other than the power output. When we get to 4%, you see that? It's gone really, really blue. Continue to 5%, still a bit blue, but again, it looks like it's warming up to me. 6%, same again, and then 7%, but it looks like everything corrects itself by 7%, and then from 7% onwards, everything seems fine. So yeah, just a bit weird. So I've also seen this do this when you're changing just the colour temperature. That what I was changing just then was just the power output. Between 1 and 7% you get this kind of fluctuation in the colour temperature. Now, changing from 4900 to 5000 Kelvin again sees this quite dramatic shift between that blue colour and the warmer colour just between 4900 and 5000. So if you're using this at lower power settings, this may be an issue, but for me personally, I'm usually using this at above 20% in a in a softbox kind of situation, so not a problem really anyway. Just another note regarding that fluctuation: it happens on both battery and on mains power, so it's not like a power issue, like some fluctuation in the battery or anything like that. There's something going on in the light at that lower end of the power range which causes this color temperature to shift. Now, I've used it from 7% all the way through the range, and there's no more fluctuation, so it's just that bottom end of the power output range where you're getting this color shift, which is just kind of weird. But yeah, again, for me, I use it above 20% most of the time. I've never noticed it when I've been shooting anything, so yeah, just something to bear in mind. So if you're interested in the Molus X100, there are links below, and a big thank you again to Zhiyun for sending this out, and a thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.